every time Jada Pinkett Smith pokes her head back into the limelight, it's to inevitably embarrass Will Smith in new and unexpected ways. A few years ago, it was to tell us about her entanglement.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship.
Yeah.
Sorry, relationship with August Alsina, who was her son's friend. But Jada assured her husband and the rest of us that she didn't believe she had done anything wrong.
But I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all.
While poor Will looked like he was dead inside.
I just wanted to feel good. Mm-hmm. It had been so long since I felt good.
The slap heard around the world, Will Smith destroyed his once stellar reputation overnight. I mean, come on. So much anger, so much angry yelling all over a G.I. Jane joke, followed by a tearful Oscar acceptance speech and a standing ovation from the crowd. Damn, Hollywood really didn't know what to do that night. But since then, Will Smith has had to lie low. But despite his reputation being on life support, Jada is back again. This time on a self-promotion, on a book promotion tour, ready to share more facts about her soulmate. Nope, not him. Yep, there you go. Jada Pinkett Smith says Tupac Shakur was her soulmate. Jada Pinkett Smith breaks down in tears as she reveals her regrets at her last words to soulmate Tupac. Jada Pinkett Smith says soulmate Tupac Shakur proposed to her from prison. Jada Pinkett Smith clarifies relationship with August Alsina. I did not cheat on Will Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith says she and Will Smith separated in 2016.
So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
Yes.
y'all have been...
Dear God, if your marriage is so damn complicated, just divorce already and stop telling us details that no one has asked for. But no, Jada and Will want us to know that they have no intentions of giving up on their marriage. Since Will Smith says reading Jada Pinkett Smith's memoir kind of woke him up. And Jada Pinkett Smith says Will's Oscar slap helped her recommit to their marriage. Will Smith says marriage to Jada Pinkett Smith is sloppy public experiment in unconditional love. You know, it doesn't need to be, right? Well, we don't want to know. You can honestly just keep it to yourselves and everyone would be happier. Will Smith says relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith has been brutal and beautiful, but I'm happier than I've ever been. Okay guys, if you two were actually happy, you wouldn't need to constantly tell us how flawed and brutal and difficult your marriage is and try to convince us how you're always making it work and you're unbelievably committed to each other in a transcendent, impossible to perceive way because the two of you are just so evolved that you don't even call yourselves married anymore. You know what people who are actually in healthy relationships do? They shut the hell up. Couples in healthy marriages are like a vault at Caesar's Palace. You are not even getting a glimpse of what's going on in there. They don't tell you about their problems, they don't tell you about their ups and downs, they don't flaunt their perfect marriage online, and they certainly don't embarrass each other by talking about how their soulmate is someone other than their spouse. I don't know whether Jada is punishing Will Smith for sins that he has committed or if she's just intent upon his utter public humiliation to see how far she can take it before he's utterly broken. But at this point, this is just a toxic relationship. Whatever Jada does or says, Will is not far behind, clapping like a captive seal and proudly proclaiming that his wife, and I use that term as loosely as Will and Jada do, is just perfect. Everything she does to Will is perfect.
Will Smith said in an email kind of woke him up. She'd lived the life more on the edge than he had realized, and that she is more resilient, clever, and compassionate than he'd understood. And this is the quote. When you've been with someone for more than half your life, he wrote, a sort of an emotional blindness sets in, and all you can do, and you can all too easily lose your sensitivity to their hidden nuances and subtle beauties.
Jada Pinkett Smith also wants us to know that she really doesn't care what people think, and yet in the same sentence wants us to know that she has done nothing wrong ever. That she had nothing to do with Will's decision to slap Chris, and in fact she was shocked that Will even decided to call her his wife since they hadn't been using that phrase for years at this point, and that the reason the two of them have continued to stay together is because they give each other something that no one else could ever give them, and that always they're focused on Jada's favorite word in the world, healing. They're always just focused on healing.
We are in a place now that we are in a deep healing space. And we are really concentrating on healing the relationship between us.
Jada, I'm gonna be straight with you. We're not buying what you're selling. And what you're selling is this holier-than-thou, sanctimonious, spiritually ascended version of yourself that you are above petty things like jealousy and labels and feuds. But we know that's not the case. If you were really above all that, you would not feel the need to put your husband down publicly every chance you get. You would not feel the need to clarify and absolve yourself of any responsibility when it comes to the fallout that's the direct result of your actions. And you certainly wouldn't feel the need to invoke Tupac's name and spill the details of your romance just so you can build up your reputation, which is in absolute tatters at the moment. Not because you're a woman, but because you're a woman who couldn't build a name for yourself and find success off your own talents. So you had to use the men in your life. But worse yet, you took a good man, a man who always loved you, a man who has always wanted you to be happy, a man who has committed himself to living honestly and building a family with you. And you have broken him. You have elevated everyone else above him and told him that another man is your soulmate. And honestly, we all just feel really sorry for Will Smith.